Well, welcome to the week in review for week 4 and happy Rad Tech week. This is Rad Tech week for us that are those of us that are RTRs. And it's kind of our week to celebrate our profession. So I hope that all of you are doing something in your department at work, something to celebrate the week. Usually it's a good time for a couple free lunches from the radiologist, so hopefully you're going to get that and take some time to celebrate with your peers and your colleagues for this week. Because I think, I was talking to a few of you earlier this morning, and our profession sometimes goes unnoticed, and we, quite frankly, we're all eclipsed by nursing. And there are so many nurses versus some of the other allied health professions. So it is a good time to talk up your profession and celebrate it, because it is a very important part of healthcare. So again, happy Rad Tech week. Now, a little bit about this week, we're entering a new unit. We are now in the legal and ethical section, which will last for 3 weeks. And this is going to introduce a couple new things. Looking at my list here, the first thing, the quiz, kind of our normal, nothing, no major departure there. But let me just talk to you about quizzes. This week's quiz will be a little bit different. I want you to get you used to different formats of quizzes. Now, in the first 3 weeks, you had quizzes where you could only view the questions one at a time. This week, I have it set so you can see all the questions. They'll just all populate, and you can scroll back and forth and look at all the questions. So know that at any time through any of your courses here, your quizzes can have a distinct look to them. It really depends on the instructor's preference. And again, I was talking to a couple of you this morning in your mid-course conferences, and you may have instructors that will only show one question at a time, and they may have it set. There's a setting on the quizzes that we do on our side to prevent paging backwards. So it means once you answer it, you cannot go back in and change your answer. So know that those are out there. Hopefully your instructors, should you ever encounter one of those quizzes, or any of your quiz, kind of gives you a heads up on what the format is. Multiple choice, essay, am I going to see one question at a time? Am I going to see multiple questions at a time? So just know that your quizzes can look very different, and time is really up to what the instructor wants to do. There will be some instructors that could have very limited time on the questions. They're basically wanting to know if you have that memorization down on those topics. So they'll give you maybe 30 seconds to read it, answer it, move on, and not page backwards. Some instructors like myself know that you're going to have resource materials available to you. I'm going to allow you to use those, but I'm also going to have somewhat of a time limit on there. But it will allow you to look up a good number of questions as you're going through. Maybe not all, but a good number. So keep that in mind. Just a little, get off my soapbox here about quiz formats, but know that that's how they can be structured. And this week, you'll see a different structure. I'm going to show all the questions all on one page. So you can kind of scroll back and forth if you want to change your answers. And I have increased the time. We have 90 minutes for this week's quiz and 30 questions. So it should be plenty enough time for you to do that. Okay, question of the week. That's already been up in the course news. So you have your question of the week. Also, we have a new unit paper topic that was also in the course news. I think I gave that out on Sunday. So you have that as well. I am going to make a change on the unit paper. For this particular unit paper alone, the who committed malpractice scenario, we have been doing 3 pages for the last one. This one will only require 2 pages for the body. So we're going to have a little less page count. There's really not that much material. If you wish to use 3 pages, I will not penalize on that. But you only have to do 2 pages for this unit paper. And you have 3 weeks to do it. So that should lessen up things a little bit too for you. Also, we have our mid-course conferences. Some of you have already taken advantage of that. I decided, for those of you that had me previous, we did a scheduler, an online scheduler, and we had scheduled times. I thought this time we'll do more of a walk-in basis, if you will, kind of on a virtual factor. But you have in the course news, there's blocks of time where I'm available. Just give me a call during those blocks of time. Now, if I'm on another line with a student, you're not going to be able to get me. If I'm, in a student conference or in a meeting, I won't be obviously available to answer the phone. I ask that you please do not leave a message. That'll avoid phone tag, and just try to call me back at, it could be 15 minutes later, it could be 30 minutes later, it could be the next day, it could be, 3 days from now. Just try me back at a time convenient for yourself. If for some reason we're not able to connect by the end of this week, maybe we'll look at scheduling a time, or I'll open up some additional blocks of time in week 5 for you to call. But I ask, please try to call sooner rather than later, so you're not all trying to get in on the last couple days of this week of availability. So, and I do have some evening availability too. Please note I'm issuing my cell phone number for that evening time because I'll be at home. But please feel free to use that. Just be aware I have 2 different phone numbers there, one for 9 to 5 Eastern and one for the evening hours. Okay, and then the next thing that we're doing new this week is the learning activity. We're going to be doing the Image Gently project, or activities, learning modules with Image Gently. So Image Gently, probably many of you are familiar with it. Again, talking to some students this morning, had not heard about Image Gently. This will be great introduction for you. And please share this information with your staff, your supervisors. If you are a supervisor, you may want to implement some of these concepts within your facility. Image Gently is a huge push across the entire country about pediatric dose protocols, especially in CT, but really in any ionizing radiation. And for those of you nuke med in the class, there's even some nuke med information on there as well. And I'll get a little bit into in week 8. We're going to customize this to your particular modality. I'll give you an opportunity to branch off a little bit, but that's in December, so we won't worry about that right now. But you'll do the learning activity, and again, it's Image Gently. There'll be a video. I think it runs maybe 14, 15 minutes long. At the completion of the video, it will have a little link on it to click for a certificate of completion. You'll click that. It will then download a PDF to your computer, which you will type your name into. So type your name in there, and then click Save, and make sure you save it to a spot on your laptop so you can print it out if you wish, or especially so you could submit it to the Dropbox, because you're going to submit that. That'll be your learning activity. I want to see this, the certificate of completion with your name on it, so I kind of got a match on who it goes to. And that's all you need to do for the learning activity. But it will be a great way for you to become familiar with some basic concepts of radiation protection that you could apply to anybody, but especially pediatrics, and also become familiar with Image Gently and the Image Gently website. Now, I would also I'd encourage you to play around that website. Look at all the tools and resources that are there for you, not just the learning modules that we'll be doing on the website. So feel free to play around with that. You'll have a link, so you'll be able to link to those to the website. So don't worry, that's in the learning activity for this week. So other than that, looking at my notes again here, I think we've pretty much covered all of the things that will be going on this week. Again, if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Use a virtual office, use the email. I am still kind of digging out. If you sent me an email to my .edu address, I am still digging through those. Been out of the office for a few days, so bear with me there. If it is something very important, though, don't hesitate to give me a call, and I'd be happy to talk to you that way as well. But should be through all my emails by the end of tomorrow. That teaches me for taking a couple days off, and then the other one will be with the again with the mid-course conferences. Again, just give me a buzz there as well. Oh, and grading. Grading should be all caught up probably by Wednesday. So I think I have most of Unit 1, a large majority of Unit 2 done, and we should be all done with the grading. I say by Wednesday. The asterisk will be the unit papers that you just submitted on Sunday. Hopefully I'll have those done by the end, by this weekend, so you can get some feedback on that, which I know is very important for you to get feedback on those assignments. All right, kind of a long week in review. Had a lot of things to discuss because we're going into this new unit. I hope you enjoy the unit. I will say with legal and ethical issues, as you go through it this week, just parting thought, especially this week is talking about malpractice insurance and malpractice in general. And, you know, I guess I carry malpractice insurance. It's relatively cheap, but I mean, it's still $100. It's about $100 a year. And, you know, with all the other things, you belong to the ASRT and other organizations, it can all add up. But if you think about it, and when you're reading today and watching, reading the readings for this week and watching the video, you know, ask yourself, gee, would my employer throw me under the bus if they had the opportunity to? And, you know, it may be yes. You know, if you were involved in some sort of litigation and it came down to it, potentially. And also, would your employer aggressively pursue or defend you in a situation that may cause you to lose your registry status? Chances is probably not. They're going to defend the organization. They're not going to defend you. That's where it's kind of nice if you have liability insurance. Most insurance policies will have some sort of legal aid that'll come in and defend you. Especially, again, you do not want to be you know, off the registry, because that is your livelihood. If you were barred from the registry or for forever, you know, you've just spent all this money in education and your profession. So food for thought as you're going through the module for this week. Well, that concludes the week in review. And as always, thank you for watching.